All right, let's talk about something huge. We're going to demystify one of the biggest financial puzzles you'll ever face: retirement. We're going to break down exactly what you need to know to build a future you're excited about. So let me ask you a question. Just imagine for a second that your career ends and a vacation begins. But this isn't for a week or two. We're talking about a vacation that could last for decades. So are you ready for that? Yep, you heard that right. People are living longer than ever, which means it's totally normal for your post-work life to stretch on for 20, maybe even 30 years. Now, that's a long time to go without a regular paycheck, and it absolutely requires a rock-solid financial plan. Okay, so if we all kind of know this long retirement is coming our way, what's stopping us? What's the biggest roadblock that makes so many of us kick this can down the road? Well, it's pretty simple, really. Life gets in the way. You've got more immediate things to worry about, right? Buying a home, paying for a wedding, saving for your kids' college, dealing with healthcare costs. These things feel urgent now. They demand our attention and our money. And retirement planning, well, that just gets pushed to the back burner. But here's the thing. Treating retirement like just another item on your financial to-do list, that's a huge mistake. Because retirement is fundamentally different. It's in a league of its own compared to every other major goal you'll ever have. And this right here lays it all out, crystal clear. Think about it. You need a house, you can get a mortgage. Need a car, you can get a loan. Your kids need an education, there are loans for that too. But retirement, no bank on earth is going to give you a loan to retire. It is the one massive life goal that you have to fund entirely on your own. And that's exactly why dipping into your retirement savings or just putting it off for a few years can be a recipe for disaster. That lost time, you can't get it back. It becomes your biggest enemy. This makes retirement your single most unique and, honestly, non-negotiable financial priority. Okay, so hopefully the urgency is setting in, but where in the world do you even begin? Don't worry, let's break it down into a really clear, manageable process that anyone can get started with. The whole journey can really be boiled down to these 4 basic steps. First, you've got to get a handle on what your future expenses might look like. Second, based on that, you can figure out how much income you'll actually need. Third, you calculate your time horizon. That's just how long you have to save up. And finally, you put it all together to land on your big target number, your final corpus. Now, as you start this process, you need to know about 2 powerful, kind of invisible forces that are always at work. One is constantly working against you, but the other is your greatest ally. And understanding them is everything. First up, let's talk about your opponent, inflation. The best way to think about it is like a silent tax on your future. Every single year, the money you've saved away buys just a little bit less than it did the year before. It just quietly eats away at your spending power. And the impact is just staggering when you see it like this. Let's say we have a 6% inflation rate. Something that costs you 100 rupees today could cost you over 570 rupees in 30 years. That's wild, right? And it shows you exactly why just saving money isn't enough. Your money has to grow. So how do you fight back against this silent threat? Well, this is where your ally comes into the picture, the rate of return on your investments. The whole game is about making your money work for you, earning a return that consistently beats the rate of inflation. Okay, so we get the blueprint, we know the enemy, and we know our secret weapon. So how do we actually calculate that final number we're aiming for? Generally, there are 2 main ways to go about it. The first one is the replacement ratio method. It's a pretty simple approach where you aim to replace a certain percentage, like say 80%, of your final salary. It's a fantastic starting point. The other method, expense protection, is way more detailed. You actually sit down and calculate all your specific future expenses. This is usually a better fit for people who are closer to retirement and have a much clearer picture of what their costs are going to be. You know, all this talk about numbers and methods brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important point of all. Figuring out the exact number is important, sure, but it's not the hardest part. The real challenge, and the absolute biggest mistake you can possibly make, is just waiting too long to start. You simply cannot get that lost time back. So I'll just leave you with this thought. You might work for 40 years to pay for a retirement that could easily last for 20. The incredible power of time and compounding is on your side. But it's only on your side if you decide to use it. The only question left is, when are you going to begin?